Good evening, friends and fellow Singaporeans. In the minds of many experts, holding an early general election in the midst of a pandemic is reckless and opportunistic. There are risks for voters and election officials, but more importantly, we cannot afford to let the ministerial committee leading the pandemic response be distracted by campaigning for the election. The PAP campaign seems to be focused on the old tactics of scaremongering and character assassination, without any new ideas to deal with a world which has changed dramatically. I used to wonder why the PAP was so afraid of Dr. Chi until I read Mr. Goh Chok Tong's biography, written by Mr. Pei Shing Hui. Page 221 of the book Tall Order contains the gem that Mr. Lee Kuan Yew liked to say that without the GRC, Teo Chee Hean on his own, standing in a single ward, might not win against somebody like Chee Soon Juan. That explains a lot. On the non-issue of the 10 million population, I would ask Singaporeans not to believe in the SDP or the PAP, but just look up the Straits Times and decide for themselves. This election is a critical election about the future of our children and grandchildren. The SDP has a simple message: 4 yeses and 1 no. Yes to suspending the GST until the end of 2021. Yes to retrenchment insurance. Yes to retirement income for low-income seniors. Our comprehensive policy papers covering housing, healthcare, population, education, and climate change share the common goal of putting people first. How do we pay for this? We have calculated that using slightly more of the return on investment income, known as the NIRC, would more than cover the costs without touching the reserves. Singapore does not have oil and gas or diamonds. Our reserves are built from the sacrifices of our parents and grandparents who gave up their pensions and cheap healthcare and housing so that we would have funds for a rainy day. A senior citizen with $500 or a retrenched single mother with $1,500 are far more likely to spend the money locally on food or in shops in our neighborhoods than a billionaire putting his millions in the Cayman Islands. It's much better to have cash in the hands of the people rather than corporations and hope that some of it trickles down to the rest of us. The SDP has a comprehensive town council plan which will ensure a smooth transition if we are elected, with transparent accounting and no more $2 companies involved in the process. We will run the town councils ourselves without the cost of a managing agent. We have heard many of the issues that concern residents, including fire safety, delayed lift upgrading, noise pollution, lack of child and infant care, and others. The SDP promises that our MPs will be out there on the ground every day, working together for the good of the people to build a democratic society based on justice and equality. Majulah Singapura. Thank you.